Welcome, Earthlings, to another episode of One Shot with Kai. I am, as always, your barkeep, Kai. Today, I would like to speak to you about the joys of homelessness. I know what you're thinking. Homelessness? What kind of joy can be found in being homeless? Ew. Yes, I know, stereotypically speaking, homelessness is not a desired situation, lifestyle, or whatever that you want to be in. But we all know the negatives of homelessness, but no one ever celebrates the positives of being homeless, such as like all those people you don't want to talk to on a regular basis. Like, say if you're like me, you're kind of pretty. You don't try to be pretty, but it just happens. Like, you could wear the worst clothes ever in your closet. Clothes with holes in them, pants with like stains all over the place, shoes with like brown stuff all over them, stains and whatever. And it's like, no matter how bad you try to make yourself look, people still like, come up to you like, hey, blah blah blah, asking you for money and blah blah blah. And it's just like, ugh. Well, the beautiful thing about being homeless is, if these people try to approach you, all you have to say is like, hey man, I'm homeless, and that usually like kills any further conversation. When people find that out, they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So like, that is one of the greatest benefits, if you ask me, of being homeless. It's like you really don't have to interact with the general populace if you don't want to. Of course you can if you want to. Like, as a homeless person, it's not illegal, for you to walk up to someone and initiate a conversation. But like, for the most part, no one is going to walk up to you and try to like, talk to you about some shit that you really don't care about. And that is, definitely one of the positives of being homeless. The second positive of being homeless is you don't have to give anything to anyone if you don't want to, because you're fucking homeless, man. It's like no one's really expecting you to like, contribute to anything. You're homeless, man. Come on, you're the bottom rung of society. Nobody expects you to do anything. Like, I could, if you were like, Bill Gates, or like just someone with just a lot of money laying around, of course people expect you to donate to this charity and to that charity, do this for the community, do that for the community. But I mean, if you're fucking broke and homeless, I mean, you really can't do anything. And it just is awesome. It's a great feeling. You're just minding your business, walking down the street, and someone comes up to you. It's like, hey, do you have $1 or something that you can spare? And I love to whip out my homeless card. I'm like, hey man, I wish I could help you, but I'm fucking homeless. And it's like, then you have the homeless like heart to heart, like, oh yeah, me too, yeah, blah 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 blah. You meet a lot of really cool people that way. Actually, you don't have any money for them, but there's always conversation, and conversation is free, for the most part. On that note, though, what is I did notice this recently, amongst my community, amongst the homeless community. What is the deal with homeless people asking other homeless people for money, and donations? It's just like, bro, I get it. definitely, I'm homeless, you're homeless, you need money for whatever you need money for. I need money for whatever I need money for. But like as a homeless person, I would never like walk up to another homeless person and ask for money, because it's just like, to me, counter fucking productive. It's like, hello, this guy's homeless, he probably doesn't have any money, so why would I ask him for money? And even if he did have money, he probably does not have a lot of it, so he probably needs that. So I'd be like a fucking asshole to ask him for anything, you know? So it's just like, when other homeless people ask me for money, I'm always flabbergasted. It's just like, oh, you're asking me for money? And it's like, if it's like, a homeless person, if I'm in like, a new area or something that I've never been, I'm like, okay, it's cool, no big deal. This guy doesn't know that I'm homeless. It's cool, you just give the usual, I'm homeless, blah, 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 blah. It works itself out. But if you're in an area where everybody knows you're fucking homeless, like, come on, man. You guys know I'm fucking homeless. It's like, why are you guys still asking me for money, man? I'm fucking homeless, bro. Come on. It's not a big deal. It's just a minor pet peeve. It's whatever. But on the flip side, I'm thinking, like, seriously though, why would you ask a homeless person for money? And I'm thinking, maybe is it have something to do with what is that philosophy where you keeping it in the family, so to speak? Like, say if you're Sicilian or something. Let's just say you're Sicilian, right? And you're Sicilian, but you're being neighbored by some Jamaicans and, fucking Taiwanese people, right? So you're Sicilian and your neighbors are Jamaican and Taiwanese. And if it's one of these situations where, I'm Sicilian, so I'm going to keep my Sicilian dollar within my Sicilian community, I get that, as a, if it's a situation like, oh, I'm homeless, so I'm only gonna ask other homeless people for money, and, we'll circulate that dollar within the homeless range. I mean, I kind of get it, but it's just like, you're kind of fucking, you're scratching at a wall that has already been scratched numerous times. There's like no space left on that wall. You might be better off, asking people with money, even though you know how people with money are. They're always like, ooh, get away from me, blah, blah, blah. Understandable, I get it, but I'm just saying, I mean, really though, that's like the number one joy of being homelessness, just the freedom to like not have anyone bother you, the freedom to not bother anyone else, really. It's just like you exist, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're alive, but it's just like, it's like the world is your oyster. You can just take whatever you want, but you don't have to give back. It's beautiful. It's fucking awesome. It's like, I'm not saying that, I know what that sounds like. Oh, Kai, you're making homeless people sound like fucking assholes. And I'm like, whoa, it's not like that. I know plenty of homeless people that like choose to give back, when they have it, I know this homeless guy, he, don't fucking tell him that I, said this. He likes to keep this on the DL, the down low. He fucking like donates food to food pantries and shit all the time. It's not a big deal for him. Sometimes he even donates money to charity. It's not a big deal for this person who remains anonymous. But and that's just one example of a person that I know personally that is homeless, that still chooses to give back, even though technically he doesn't have to do shit. It's fucking amazing. So, I'm not trying to put the homeless population in a bad light or anything. I'm not saying like you can't give back if you're homeless. I'm just saying it is not required of you to do so. And I find in this world that we live in, it's very gimme, takey. I find that beautiful. No one's expecting anything from you. I love it. It's like can I get some more of that in the next lifetime? Anyway, that's been your shot for the day. I hope your whistle got a little wet. I hope you're a little moist in the throat there. And that's all the time that we have today. The bar is closed. Please come back, when we are open again. But for now, you gotta get the fuck out of the bar. Capiche? Capiche.
Tiger style.
Tiger style. Yo. Drive slow, homie.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
They shooting.
Right.
Just move on.